Ultimately, responsibility rests with each of us. Our concerns are many. Possibly the most glaring, the one alone that can break us, is large-scale power failure. The consequences are immediate and far-reaching. Everything changes and doesn't improve until it comes back online. In a long-term power outage, the weak die and the strong suffer. We all take the power grid for granted because it's mostly always been there. But should we? No matter how convincing a presentation of its vulnerability, most people will do nothing more than call their congressman to safeguard this from happening. This is fine, but not enough. Because we are a culture completely dependent upon the grid, we must at the very least acknowledge our vulnerability and the consequences of its loss. When we do, we've taken the first step towards facing this eventuality. Think of it. No water, no light, no heat, no cooling, no refrigeration, no internet, all in an instant, without assurance of its timely return. How much would you then be willing to pay for a generator or solar system, if even available? What will you say to your wife and children? What if it should happen in winter or brutal heat of summer, the most likely times for a failure? What would it mean to take these precautions now, when preventative measures are readily available and affordable by comparison to after an event? There is a marked increase in prepping going on today, which generally centers around food stocks, water, means of barter, and maybe some ammo. These are necessary components to the cause of persevering, especially water. Still, most thinking and planning doesn't go to the truly dire issue of grid failure and its consequences. I have found the most effective affordable solution can be found in an RV, recreational vehicle. An RV parked on your driveway provides a place for fresh water storage, food storage, emergency equipment storage, all ready for use. An RV runs on propane and battery power. A small generator can recharge batteries, and additional propane tanks can be bought in advance. Solar collection panels can be added with conversion to AC for appliances, phone charging, and computers. A wood-burning stove can be installed for heat. How videos are abundant. If you've never been in an RV, you're in for a surprise. You will find they are cleverly designed, fully functional homes on wheels. I have been living in mine year-round in a cold northerly climate for almost 3 years now. I would not recommend living in your RV year-round, and I would not talk you out of it either. For the most part, it hasn't made much difference one way or the other. The upside is I've learned enough to teach a few things about the benefits it will provide you in the event of power grid failure. If in the event of a prolonged power outage, you are the only one in the neighborhood carrying on, and it gets uncomfortable, you can hitch it up and drive away. The benefits of being associated with other campers of like mind and like preparedness is enormous. Migrations happen collectively, and this sort of event is very similar. We need each other for all the right reasons. Someone has tools, the other has medical knowledge, and so on. Community turns an unpleasant experience into an adventure. 2 minds are better than 1, and 3 or more become a brain trust of problem solving. If and when you decide to move your camper from the neighborhood, you will find many RV parks scattered around the country, particularly in areas where people visit and vacation. Most offer daily, weekly, and monthly rates. Here or nearby, you will also find propane fill services and supplies. You've probably been doing some serious thinking along the lines of prepping already, and there's lots of good channels to help us bone up on what to acquire in the way of supplies. The essential difference of this discussion is the versatility of an RV to address power failure, be it a couple of days or much longer. An RV is designed to run off-grid. Well provisioned, you are effectively prepared. On the other hand, if you stock supplies without addressing power failure, you remain vulnerable. Electrical requirements of a home simply do not back up easily. They are too AC energy dependent. Note that the refrigerator in your camper can run on either AC or propane. Same for hot water. The stove, oven, and furnace will be propane. Although campers are rated at 30 and 50 amps, meaning at full load use this much current, In practice, you can keep everything short of air conditioning functioning off a single 15-amp cord, pulling just 6 to 8 amps from a small 2,000-watt portable generator. The idea here is to keep the batteries charged. Adding solar panels has the same effect. To ease the need for propane fuel in winter for heat, adding a wood-burning stove works very well. They're smaller than home units, sized to meet your requirements. If you own your own home, a backup emergency generator is an option, but you lack mobility. It's an excellent short-term solution. In a long-term power outage, however, you're going to have a lot of visitors. It's a great opportunity to be helpful, but you need to take this into consideration. This brings us back to the very important aspect of community. It's a significant undertaking of expense and planning to prepare for your family alone. Your neighbors may well become a burden you simply cannot support, even with the best of intentions. It's best to find like-minded individuals and plan with them, but you may not find everyone until you hit the road. No need to let this keep you from your objective of doing what you know is necessary. The most unlikely of outcomes is you did all this for nothing. The power stays on. If so, you have a valuable asset you can sell or use for holiday and vacations. Unfortunately, the likelihood of wide-scale power outage is very real and life-threatening event. It's all or nothing. We are either prepared for it ahead of time or it's too late. My purpose in posting this thread is to draw attention to the practical use of recreational vehicles as off-grid homes and invite contributions from experienced users. We're getting down to crunch time. We need the best ideas to be heard and utilized.